See if we can keep it going for the weekend. That forecast is coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, 7:31.
So right now they are looking for suspects in connection with this horrible, horrible case involving Charlie Kirk, that assassination attempt. There was a editorial this morning in the Wall Street Journal that says this is now a dangerous moment for this country, which could descend into a cycle of political violence that would be hard to arrest. President Trump survived 2 assassination attempts. In June, 2 Democratic state lawmakers in Minnesota were shot, one of whom was killed. Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro's home was firebombed in April. 3 years ago, a contemplated assassin gave himself up outside Justice Brett Kavanaugh's house. Representative Steve Scalise was shot in 2017 and Representative Gabby Giffords in 2011.
And we could go on and on from there. Isn't that something? Scott Duffey, thank you for coming in.
Good morning.
FBI agent, former FBI agent. So I think our viewers who are waking up want to know, did they catch anybody yet?
Yeah, they did not catch anybody. As on my way in this morning, here listening to the reports, but also like everybody else, I'm a little skeptical when I see a report that somebody's in custody.
Well, you're skeptical, as rightly you should be, but when the FBI, the head of the FBI, says they got somebody in custody, I believe him.
Yeah, so do I. So does everybody else that's listening. It's a lesson to us that we have to make sure that there's one message, and the message is put out when it's appropriate and when we have the information that's
when
true.
it's solid info.
When it's solid info.
We did see at least one person being taken into custody yesterday.
Yes.
In the moments after this incident happened, this assassination happened. So that person was taken into custody. One person was called a suspect, the other a person of interest. And then eventually, and the local police said that they did not have the suspect at the time, but both were eventually let go.
Correct.
One was charged with obstruction.
One was charged with.
All right, so what we just talked about, political motivated violence. I don't know, is it safe to have any of these rallies anymore outside? What would you do?
Yeah, you know, any death by violence, homicide is horrible in the United States, but particularly when we have political violence or somebody that is out in the public, one view or another, one politic or another, depending on their view, that they are out there debating, doing whatever, and then to be gunned down for their lives to be cut short.
And look how far away this shooter was.
That is a distance.
540 feet away. Well, my math isn't that great, but that's like 2 football fields, right?
That's a significant distance.
This human, man or woman, was very proficient with a gun.
Yeah, I would say very proficient. One shot. We don't have multiple shots. We don't have, okay, maybe I hit my target or not. This was one shot. I felt very clear that the individual knew they've met their target, and then it's time to eat.
So what would, based on that distance, and from your experience in the FBI, what would you think about who that shooter could be, or what they did, what position they may have been in order to make that shot based on your experience?
I would say, having trained with firearms quite a bit, I'm 25 yards and in, and I realize of all the years I've been shooting how difficult that is. Even with a long gun, I'll go 50 yards. So to exceed that
by a lot,
with a crowd, with a slight covering of the tent, the pop-up tent, and to be able to hit their mark is, I would say, high amount of training.
There was some footage. They think they see a guy dressed in black, and I would imagine the person is laying on their stomach with a tripod and a scope and the whole thing. But if the target was his throat or clipping his jugular vein, they did it at 200 yards.
Yeah. There's no doubt in my mind that the proficiency of training for this individual, whether it be a sniper or whatever they do in their past, whether just training every day for long distance shooting. At the same time, you have to go find a range that has that exceeding. Not any indoor range that I know of has that type of
It's
distance.
so scary. It may be a time where I think that you alluded to this, where we can't do outdoor events. You just
No.
can't secure an open area like that. And, because we saw that with the president. It's one of those where
Yes.
it's the safety risks are too high. There's just too many areas to secure. You need people coming in through metal detectors and in an enclosed, secure area.
The security protocols have to change, there's no doubt, because individuals want to continue to go out and debate and do whatever. Politicians have to go out and be able to speak, but this is exactly what the shooter wanted.
Yes.
This is to shut
yeah.
everything down.
You could have shot him anywhere. I mean, Charlie's walking around all
Yes.
over the country, but they chose that event.
The first on his tour of colleges,
Talking about gun violence.
talking about gun violence of all things, and
Of
then to
all
be shot.
things. He had just answered a question about gun violence. Oh, I don't know. Especially on 9/11, 24 years ago. Remember 24 years ago on 9/11 on this morning? The entire country came together.
They did.
And we all hugged each other and we said, we will always be together. We'll always be against this evil outside force way overseas. And now look at us. We forgot that promise about never forget. Now we're not attacking people outside force. We're attacking each other.
Yes. 24 years ago, I was in the FBI and I got the call to go to the Pentagon. And so, joining many thousands of first responders, I felt the unity, regardless.
Yes.
It was an amazing sense of America's one.
Well, hopefully they'll track down the person responsible, and there will come a day or some sort of discourse we can get back to that point where we are not
Yes.
so divided
Yes.
amongst each other. Thanks for coming in. We really appreciate
you.
your
Good
insight.
morning.
Thank you. We'll be right back.